The Alabama sun beat down mercilessly on the Montgomery Regional Air Exhibition, its rays glinting off the sleek metal of an A-10 Thunderbolt soaring overhead. On the ground, a frail woman in her 70s, Clara Thompson, stood trembling as security guards gripped her arms, pulling her away from the VIP section. Blood trickled from a cut on her lip, earned when she stumbled during the rough escort. The crowd whispered, some with pity, others with disdain, assuming she was just a confused old woman making trouble. No one could have guessed that Clara was the genius behind the very aircraft now dazzling the skies until Captain Daniel Carter cut his engine mid-demonstration, grabbed the microphone, and changed history forever. Clara clutched the gold-embossed invitation in her weathered hands, her heart pounding as she stepped onto the exhibition grounds. At 73, she hadn't expected to be remembered after decades of obscurity. The invitation to the air show felt like a miracle, a nod to her unacknowledged work as one of the first black female engineers for the Air Force in the 1970s. Her innovations, thermal protection systems, redundant hydraulics, reinforced cockpits had made the A-10 Thunderbolt a legend, saving countless pilots in combat. Yet her name was absent from every manual, erased by white supervisors who claimed her designs as their own. "Grandma, you gotta go," her grandson Jamal, 16, had urged, pointing to the invitation on her kitchen table. "Show them who you are." Clara hesitated, memories of past humiliations flooding back, being called girl instead of engineer, watching her ideas presented by others, being escorted from a 2012 veterans event as a liar. But Jamal's enthusiasm and a private letter from Captain Carter praising her uncredited work convinced her. She dusted off her old Air Force contractor uniform, pinned her father's service medal to her collar, and resolved to reclaim her place. At the air show, Clara and Jamal navigated the bustling crowd, the scent of jet fuel and fried food heavy in the air. The VIP entrance promised shade and a clear view, but a guard, Officer Bradley, blocked her path. "General admission's that way, ma'am," he said, eyeing her skeptically. Clara presented her invitation. "I'm Clara Thompson, on the VIP list." Bradley's frown deepened as he checked his tablet, then conferred with a colleague. "There's a mix-up," he said, his tone dripping with doubt. "This area is for military and key contributors." Jamal's fists clenched. "You mean because she's black? Or a woman?" Clara stayed calm, producing her old ID badge and design notebooks. "I engineered the A-10's thermal systems from 72 to 94, she said firmly. Before Bradley could respond, Colonel Richard Grayson, the exhibition director, approached, his polished uniform gleaming. "Miss Thompson, this section is reserved," he said, his smile cold. "Perhaps you misread the invitation." Clara's voice didn't waver. "I was a lead engineer for 22 years. I'm here as a special contributor." Grayson's eyes flicked over her, calculating. "A clerical error, I'm sure. General admission will suit you fine." As two black officers were waved through the VIP gate with white escorts, Clara saw the unspoken rule. Her legitimacy required validation she'd never get. She took Jamal's arm. "Let's go, baby. I'm here to see the planes, not fight fools." In the crowded general admission area, Clara's heart sank. Displays chronicling the A-10's history ignored her entirely. A faded 1974 photo showed her younger self, the only black woman among engineers, partially obscured, captioned simply "Development Team." Her existence reduced to a shadow. "That's you," Jamal whispered, awestruck. Clara nodded, throat tight, and hurried toward the flight line for Captain Carter's demonstration. As they squeezed through the throng, Clara tried one last time to reach the veterans recognition area. A young staffer, Emily Harris, checked credentials with a warm smile. "Miss Thompson." Emily's eyes lit up. "The Clara Thompson? I studied your thermal systems at Howard." Clara's hope surged, but before Emily could act, Grayson reappeared. "Miss Thompson, we discussed this," he snapped. Emily protested. "Sir, she designed systems that saved lives." Grayson's voice was ice. "I know every major A-10 contributor, and she wasn't one." He barely glanced at Clara's notebooks. "Forgeries," he sneered. "This is a military event, not a stage for fantasies." The public shaming stung, but Clara stood tall. "My hydraulics saved pilots in Iraq. I have the calculations." Grayson signaled security. "Escort her out." As guards seized her arms, Clara spotted an A-10 on display, its thermal shield misaligned. "That secondary lock's disengaged," she warned. "It's a hazard." Grayson laughed. "Now she's a safety expert?" An older veteran, Sergeant Henry Brooks, squinted at her. "I remember a black woman engineer back then, Sharp as hell. Could be her. Grayson shut him down. Enough, Sergeant. The guards tightened their grip, and Clara's chest ached with familiar pain. Erased, dismissed, removed. As they reached the edge of the veterans' area, the roar of an A-10 cut through. Captain Carter's demonstration had begun. The plane Clara helped build soaring while she was treated like an imposter. High above, Carter focused on his maneuvers, unaware of the drama below. The first black leader of the Thunderbolt team, he carried the weight of representation. Months earlier, he'd uncovered Clara's uncredited designs in Air Force archives, her brilliance buried under others' names. He'd written to her, ensured her VIP invitation, and now flew an aircraft alive with her genius. As he climbed, a vibration in the port engine caught his attention. Then, a voice crackled on the secondary channel. Thunderbolt 1, we have a situation. Clara Thompson identified a thermal shield issue. Carter's pulse quickened. Where's Miss Thompson now? The reply was tense. Security removed her. They're calling her delusional. Anger flared. Clara, whose systems made this flight possible, was being humiliated. He toggled the main channel. Tower, I'm observing engine irregularity. Request holding pattern. Ignoring the tower's protests, he banked over the VIP section, flying the original test pattern for Clara's thermal system, a message only experts would grasp. Spotting Clara restrained below, Carter made a bold move. He slowed, skywriting C. Thompson's system in massive letters. Switching to the public address system, he boomed, "This is Captain Daniel Carter. I'm demonstrating Clara Thompson's thermal protection system, designed by one of the Air Force's greatest engineers." The crowd gasped. She identified a thermal anomaly from the ground, saving this aircraft. Her redundant systems have saved countless lives. Carter landed smoothly, bypassing Grayson to salute Clara. "Ms. Thompson, it's an honor to meet the genius who's protected A-10 pilots for 50 years. The guards stepped back, stunned. Emily Harris rushed forward with declassified documents proving Clara's contributions. A maintenance chief confirmed the thermal shield issue. She's right. That lock failure could have downed the plane. The hangar became a stage. Carter presented Clara's original drawings, showing how her name was erased from later versions. An elderly engineer, William Foster, stepped forward. "I was PRA project manager in the 70s. I saw her work stolen and stayed silent. Here's every document, every alteration." The crowd murmured as Emily projected the evidence. Grayson, cornered, was escorted away by investigators. 3 hours later, Clara stood at the hangar's center, explaining her designs to awestruck technicians. General Thomas Reed, arriving by helicopter, ordered a full review and presented Clara with the Air Force Distinguished Civilian Service Medal. A new A-10 panel, labeled Thompson Thermal Protection System, symbolized her restored legacy. Pilots offered their squadron patches, one tearfully thanking her for saving her life in combat. 1 month later, at the Air Force Museum, Clara stood beneath an A-10 dubbed Clara's Thunder. Her drawings were displayed, her scholarship fund launched, and her role as historical advisor confirmed. The review committee uncovered 27 other erased black contributors, ensuring their recognition. Clara donated new designs, insisting that young engineers get credit. In the simulator, she flew her A-10 flawlessly, proving her mastery. Surrounded by young black engineers, Clara shared her wisdom. Document everything. Never stop believing the truth will out. With Jamal, now an Air Force Academy cadet, by her side, she walked through the museum, her name etched in history. The fight was over, her legacy secure, a beacon for generations to come. What do you think about Clara's story? Have you witnessed injustice or erasure in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments, especially on how we confront violence and unfairness. Take a stand, your voice matters.